Hello everybody, Cliff Whitney here from UAV Experts and AtlantaHobby.com. You probably recognize the background because most of you have been in training here with us, which we really enjoyed and had a good time. Soon, if not already, you're going to receive a very cool combo with your Mavic in it. And I thought I'd give you a quick overview of what's in the box, what's in the case, maybe a little bit of how to put it together, and some pointers that you need to know, because I know that the 2 days that you're here is fairly intense and absorbent, and we're giving you everything from a fire hose. So very nice little kit, comes in a great package. It's all waterproof down to about 20 feet. Don't take it underwater, there's no need to test that. It opens up and you'll see inside you're going to have a Mavic with 5 total batteries, a nice tablet holder like we were using on the field, some cool stuff from Go Professional, my friends Beth and Rick who own the company out there, some stickers, and a layout of how everything goes in the actual case. So you'll be able to see that there. The first thing I'll pop out, of course, are the directions to the Mavic. I know you all got a chance to fly it and play with it at school. The directions are actually here. They're also online, which is where they're updated at the DJI.com website. The tablet holder, I'll pull out real quickly and show you, will come out of its little bag, and it's in a couple of different pieces. So you can see it right here. It's spring loaded, see, for your tablet. So it's very easy just to pop it open. You've got 2 pieces. Take the little screw piece on the back off. You have it here. And now on the base plate, there's a couple of pieces that fold up. So it looks like this. The little round piece we took off before slides on there. And then the base plate, as you'll see, pushes into the hole and just push. So it locks in and screws down tight. If you've got better fingers, there you go, just like that. So now you have a tablet holder that will slide into your handheld controller. The handheld controller comes right out of the case. As you've seen it and you've played with it, it's a nice handheld controller. The base folds out. So you see the base like this. It's like a Game Boy controller or a video game controller. And the tablet holder simply slides in. I'm going to leave you some references. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, there's some links to an actual overview of this tablet holder. But you can put your iPad minis. It'll actually hold a full iPad in it. So now you can fly with your tablets, and that's good. So let's take a look at some of the other things in the case. And I want to mention, while I've got the tablet out, or the controller out, that if you receive your units, we've packed a lot of these recently, and for some reason on the end, notice that's on the left-hand side, there's a little hole. If there's a cable plugged into there, unplug it, and it'll simply pop out from this slot. Just push on it, pop it out, put it in the case. You won't need it anymore. That's only used if you're using a telephone in the brackets. Since you'll be using a tablet up on top, you'll plug your tablet's charge cord into the tablet, route it around the bottom, and it plugs into the USB plug right in the bottom, and that's what activates everything. So let's take a look at some other things that are in the case. Okay, so here's what we have in your case. We're going to pop it open. Take a look inside. It's all arranged nice and neat. We talked about the instruction manual. We talked about the literature from Go Professional. So inside you have your basic layout. The tablet mount is on the right hand side, and it sits on top of the batteries. Don't put it on top of the helicopter, just put it on top of the batteries. And you can see the way the batteries are oriented. So you have 4 here, plus you have the one that's in the actual helicopter. Batteries easily just pop out. You've got them. You see the big piece goes down in there first. You also have over here the 4 battery charger, the quad charger. We talked about this at school, but your AC adapter plugs right into the back, and now you can charge all 4 batteries. Remember, it charges the batteries in sequence. It doesn't charge them all at the same time. So when you plug the batteries in, it looks at all 4 of them and it determines which one has the most charge in it, and it charges that battery first so as to get you back in the air as fast as possible. Moving down the line, we have an AC adapter. The AC adapter pops right out, and it also has its power plug. So we know about power plugs. The power plug plugs into the wall, and then the other end plugs into the AC adapter. And then your AC adapter will either plug into your batteries individually, or it will plug into your battery 4-port adapter on the bottom just by sliding it in there and plugging it in just like that. So you're good to go. Also on your AC adapter you have 2 USB outlets. And these are nice for charging your transmitter, which is over here on the side. And it'll also charge your phone or your tablet or anything else while you're out in the field. So that pops down in there like that. You've got a lot of extra props in your kit. There's a couple right in this little hole that we slide down in there for you. And the power adapter goes back in there. So that's that. We talked about the transmitter holder or the transmitter just a while ago. So if you pop yours out of your case, it should not be installed, but if by chance it is, and you see this little plug on the side, just unplug it. That's all there is to it. And you'll see the bottom piece of it here. This is again for if you're using your telephone. So just push it out, and then this will slide up and you can slide it out because you don't need it. There are some extra ones here. Just depends on what phone platform you're using, if you were going to use these, Android or Apple or so forth and so on. So that's all there is to it. To charge your transmitter, it's got charge on it because we've updated all the software, we've test flown each of your units. To charge your transmitter, you take the USB plug and plug it into the side of the transmitter. That is the upper left-hand side, and it also plugs into the USB port on the charger, and you're good to go and you're ready to charge. Remember from all of your DJI trainings, just like DJI on all their equipment, to turn it on, your on switch is in the upper right hand corner. Push once, push and hold until you hear it start to boot, and then it'll connect. The proper sequence, remember, for starting everything is you start the transmitter first, then the helicopter, then your tablet. And that's the proper sequence. Push once, push and hold to shut down. Just like that. Transmitter folds up, goes right back in the case. Over in the far right hand side, you've got extra props, piles of them, which are here. We'll also put them down here. And we have a very cool car charger. Now a lot of folks leave the car charger in their car, which leaves this big hole available up here to store extra stuff like USB cables, charging cables. This is the one you'll actually use to charge your transmitter. So if you leave this in your car, you can do that. Very simple, plugs into the old cigarette lighter, and on the other side has a plug which goes into your battery. So a nice accessory if you're out in the field. It does not have the extra USB ports because there's just not enough power coming out of the 12 volts to run all of that at the same time. Lastly in the case, that leaves us to your helicopter, or actually not lastly, but I'll pop it out here real quick just to show you. In the bottom of the case down here, there's more props, and there's a very cool little adapter that I know we showed you in training, but you might not remember it. This little adapter can be handy out in the field. Now what it does is it takes one of your batteries, your Mavic batteries, and with the plug here and the plug on the bottom of your battery, it just plugs in. And now your battery acts as the 12 volt source, and it has 2 USB power outlets. So the idea here is if you get out in the field and get stuck, you can charge the transmitter from one of the Mavic batteries, or if you really get stuck out there, you can charge your telephone or your tablet. So you have a nice 12 volt source, you have 5 of them. This little adapter will enable you to do all of that, and it's in the very bottom of your case. I can stick it back down in there. Perfect. That leaves us with the helicopter. A couple things on the heli. Obviously it's folded, and it has a little rubber cover that goes on the front. Now we talked about this a little bit in class, but the front of your Mavic has a optical plastic covering. It's to protect the gimbal. You don't have to use it, but it is handy, but in certain sun angles and so forth, you might see glare on it. But there's a little rubber cover that goes over it to protect it. Now I have to tell you, from building hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, once this little rubber cover comes off, it doesn't stay on real good anymore, so don't sweat it. But it's definitely there. But if you hold it and mess with it a whole lot, it might fall off. Underneath here though is very important. To take this cover off, you simply look at the back and there's a little latch, and if you apply that latch it pops right off. And notice there's a couple of clips here. So to put it back on, they clip in and then it just locks down and it's back in there securely, just like that again. Pop it off and you're good to go. Before you boot up this helicopter ever, there's one more little adapter piece inside, or a clamp inside. It's a gimbal clamp. It keeps the gimbal from moving around during storage. You want to reach down there and squeeze it gently and pull it out. Do not start your helicopter with this gimbal lock in place. It'll damage the gimbal. And the gimbal is the same cost as a new helicopter, so you don't want to have to replace that. The gimbals are the most fragile piece on your helicopter, so you want to take care of them. You don't want to beat them up at all. So obviously you know how to fly. We're going to fold the arms out just like so. Set it down on the table, push once, push to hold, and your buttons or your lights will light up. So when you get the unit, you're going to have to charge the batteries, and we would go ahead and recommend that you charge the transmitter at the same time. A couple things to remember is you only have collision avoidance in the front. Do not back up into something. And if you are backing up into something, why are you not looking at the helicopter? Don't look at the screen. Don't get complacent and don't get caught looking at the screen all the time. So you will be in good shape. So there you have it, your new Mavic Combo. It's really, really a nice piece of equipment. I know you're going to enjoy it. You're going to get some fantastic shots. Take your time. Don't back up into anything. Don't look at the screen all the time. Keep your eyes on the helicopter. Remember how we talked in class. Glance at the screen, glance at the helicopter. Glance at the screen, glance at the helicopter. Take very good care of it. Put it back like you took it out each time. Get your batteries charged. Read through the books. Call us anytime if you've got any help or any questions. You've got my cell phone number. I'll be happy to help you again. Enjoy it. You guys have a great time.